Hi guys, it's Amouage. How's everyone doing? Good, good, good. I hope. I'm back. New year, new me. Well, not really. It's not really a new me. It's just the same old me. Nah, what are you gonna do? Well, I wanted to start the year off by reviewing an Amouage fragrance, and today it is Beach Hut Man. I always almost say Bracken Man. I need to get out of that habit. And I'll explain why I say that in a minute. It's very weird. Anyway, I'm here again, so reviews will now continue. I had a little bit of a break because everyone needs a break from everything every once in a while, right? So this is an aromatic woody fragrance that came out in 2017. I remember when I first smelled this, it was last year sometime, possibly maybe even the year before. I did a video and I went out perfume sniffing in London, and this is one of the ones that stuck out to me. At the time I said it reminded me of a hotel I stayed in Disneyland, but it doesn't anymore now that I've worn it a few times. Anyway, what are the notes? So the top notes are mint, orange blossom and galbanum. The heart notes are vetiver, moss and ivy. And the base notes are myrrh, patchouli and dry woods. So let me just spray it on my hand. I do want to say, while this is kind of drying a little bit, that the beach thing is a little bit lost on me. I'm not really sure why it's called Beach Hut. It does say in the description something about escaping to a beach and letting nature take over, which I totally understand, but beach, let's talk about beach for a second. When a fragrance is described as beachy, it really is where? Because if you're talking about a beach in the forests of Denmark, on the edge of the forest in Denmark, it's going to be totally different to a Hawaiian tropical beach or a beach in Thailand or even English countryside. Countryside? Coast. English coast. Which smells to me like candy floss and chips, fish and chips and stuff like that. So when you say beach, I like it to be a bit more specific. Anyway, I love this. It's probably my favourite men's one from Amouage to date that I've smelled, and I've smelled a lot of them. So when this opens, oh my gosh, really lovely. It's very aromatic. It almost feels like a classic fougere, almost like it's going into fougere territory. The main things I can smell here are mint, of course, and a very pronounced leaf smell, which is the ivy. The ivy and the mint are what's working in tandem here at the beginning, and the mint is lovely. It's adding a bit of freshness as opposed to anything else. Mint I've seen done horribly wrong in fragrances so many times, where it's too overpowering, it smells like chewing gum. I've seen it done really well in fragrances where it smells actually like mint crushed leaves in your fingers. And this one is, the mint in here is really smooth in a strange way. I'd never thought of mint as being a smooth note, but it's almost just behind the ivy. The ivy is the main thing I smell here, the obvious leafy smell, with the mint behind, which is kind of smoothing over it and smoothing over everything and adding a touch of brightness. It's really cool. But then you have this, the other notes going on are more aromatic, more fougere. If you've ever smelled Elle by Arquiste, think of that. It's in that realm. They share similar notes. That's also a kind of nod to a fougere. So that's why I think of it. But this in my head is what I imagine Amouage Bracken to smell like, or this should be named Bracken, because I've never smelled Bracken, given I don't know what it smells like, but if I had probably smelled Bracken and this side by side, this is pointed out more to me as Bracken because it's a foresty, it feels like a walk in nature. It doesn't feel like anything beachy. There's nothing salty here even. That's the one thing that you can guarantee at every beach, salt. So I don't really know. I just think it smells really cool though. Anyway, how does it develop? So this one for me is not a super morpher. Some Amouage fragrances morph 2, 3, 4 times. This one has just a slight character change. I don't know, maybe try it on your skin, but on mine, what happens is the mint backs off. Of course, mint is usually a top or heart note, so it is a little bit more fleeting. And it becomes a lot softer and it becomes a lot more dusky and a little bit more fuzzy. When the moss starts to take hold, it gives that character of something just a little bit, sorry it's dry here, just a little bit more fusty, but in still a really beautiful way. I usually don't like oak moss at all, given, but in this it works perfectly. Amouage really know how to place notes perfectly in fragrances and in the right amounts. They're just really good at that. The woods in here listed as dry woods, yes, and that's another reason why the character or the tone changes. It does become drier, the freshness goes, it's still leafy the whole way. This ivy note I can smell all the way through it. It's what everything revolves around to my nose. I don't necessarily get any patchouli or myrrh from it. There's nothing resinous here. This is true to the greenness that it is at the beginning, and it stays the whole time. So yeah, you end on a much drier, softer, but still leafy and a little bit kind of mossy, fusty kind of smell when it's dry. Yeah. It projects really strongly for about 4 hours on me. It's one of the stronger ones from Amouage, which is great. I love green things that project. That's why I like powdery things that project. But yeah, it's really, really good. It projects really strongly for about 4 hours, and then of course it becomes closer to the skin, but I can still smell it on my skin if I waft my hand, or I've caught wafts of it when I've worn it, for at least 8-9 hours after. So you're gonna get the performance with this one again, as always with Amouage. Well, not as always, but with a lot of the time. And that's it. If you guys want to get this fragrance, head on over to natino.co.uk. They sell it there. I will post a direct link in the description box. I'm rusty, see? I'm still rusty from the Christmas and New Year period. Anyway, I'm up, Sean Minogue, click my logo down there to subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon for another video. Goodbye.